Welcome to the SmartKeys podcast. Today, we are taking a deep dive into, I think, one of the most pressing challenges facing the modern professional. It's how to stop fighting distraction, eliminate that constant information overload, and just consistently execute high-value work. If you operate in a hybrid environment or if your home office has become a landmine of procrastination, this is for you.
It really is the central operational challenge of our time, isn't it?
Mhm.
We've gained all this flexibility, but we've sacrificed the structured environment that traditionally enforced focus.
Mhm.
And the difference between planning to work and reliably delivering results,
Yeah.
well, it often just comes down to strategy. Our source material today points to a really powerful, actionable approach: the strategic pairing of co-working sessions with a dedicated accountability partner.
That combination is fascinating. It's because it tackles both the environment and the psychology at the same time. We're not just looking for a quiet room. We are, I guess, creating a reliable routine. So our mission today is to break down the practical utility of these tools, from the deep psychological benefits that drive follow-through to the tactical decisions you need to make about environment, location, and budget. This is really about building a system of professional reliability that can scale with you.
Absolutely. We are transforming soft intentions into hard commitments.
So let's start with the engine of this whole system, the strategic power of accountability. If I have a task, why is having a partner the key lever as opposed to me just, setting a strict timer alone in my house?
Because alone, you're only accountable to yourself. And let's
Yeah.
be honest, we're experts at negotiating with ourselves.
We always win that negotiation.
Always. The primary lever here is that social commitment, combined with the physical environment shift. When you leave the house and enter a dedicated workspace, you signal to your brain and to your partner that you are switching into execution mode. The distractions that dominate at home, the laundry, the dishwasher, the notifications, they just fall away.
That external commitment seems so crucial. The source material notes that moving work into a space designed for focus, especially a shared space, fosters a collective mindset. But here's where I get a bit critical. If I'm trying to focus on a complex financial model, isn't seeing someone else making visible progress potentially a distraction? How do I harness that mindset without being tempted to, gossip or compare notes too often?
That's a great question. And that's where the structure becomes your guardrail. See, the benefit of the collective mindset isn't that you socialize. It's the gentle, nonverbal pressure to stay engaged. You're surrounded by people who are monitoring focus. There's also this psychological principle, sometimes called the Zeigarnik effect, where publicly stating an unfinished task creates a kind of cognitive tension that we're highly motivated to resolve. Your partner is there specifically to hear your goal.
The public goal setting. So if I say out loud, I'm going to complete the first draft of this proposal, I have externalized that pressure. It's no longer just a wish on a sticky note.
Exactly. And the success of this system relies on structured sprints and motivation loops. We're not talking about an 8-hour marathon. You agree on short, intense work blocks, say 25 to 50 minutes, followed by brief restorative breaks. You state your goals at the start, run the sprint, and then end with a quick 5-minute debrief.
And what's the ultimate payoff of that kind of rigorous structure?
Yeah. It keeps your willpower fresh. It lets small, visible wins compound into steady progress. But crucially, the partner's role goes beyond just motivation. It's about reducing friction. If you hit a technical roadblock or a conceptual challenge, your partner is right there. They can help you troubleshoot. That immediate perspective can save you hours of spinning your wheels in isolation. It stops a small problem.
It's derailing your entire day.
Exactly.
That makes sense. Managing that cognitive load, shifting energy from debugging to actual execution, that's the core value. Okay, speaking of logistics, let's move into how the infrastructure has evolved to make this easy. We need to talk about leveraging the co-working ecosystem.
Right, because the logistics barrier has dissolved completely. And that's what makes this strategy so scalable for everyone. The data we reviewed highlights platforms, like Coworking Cafe, that act as a single directory. We're talking over 26,000 curated spaces across more than 1,300 cities.
Wow.
Yeah, that scale just removes all the manual labor of comparison shopping. It lets you focus on the task, not the setup.
So it's a ready-made global infrastructure. You can book in minutes, you can see clear photos, amenity lists, access details. But with all those options, how does a professional match the right space to the task? You mentioned the biggest mistake is just picking the cheapest place.
It is. The space has to serve the function. If you're starting out, use the filters by day, by month, or membership, and really scrutinize the amenities. Business-grade Wi-Fi, ergonomic chairs, reliable power. These are non-negotiables. They're like insurance policies for deep work.
And location, too, I imagine.
Oh, don't forget location.
Oh.
Protecting your energy by cutting commute time is essential. The money saved on the cheapest desk isn't worth an extra hour in traffic.
So let's contrast the space types. If I need budget flexibility, I want quick sprints, and I value meeting new people, where do I look?
That's hot desking. It's the entry point. It's perfect for flexibility, quick sessions, and maximizing that organic networking. You just grab an available spot and immediately tap into that focused energy.
Okay, and what if my priority is more about routine and consistency? I want to anchor my weekly schedule.
Then you look at a dedicated desk. That's your consistent spot. Often includes storage, 24/7 access. The pricing snapshot shows these typically start around $119 a month. If you break that down, that's about $4 a day for a guaranteed professional environment.
$4 a day. The ROI on reducing that daily setup friction has to be massive.
It's huge.
So what about the premium option? If my work is confidential or I'm running these intense sprints that require zero interruption, is the price jump to a private office justified?
Absolutely justified, because that jump, with day offices running between $65 and $99 a day, that's purchased insurance for your most critical tasks. It's not just about privacy, it's about control. You control the temperature, the noise level, the security of your documents. For high-stakes work, the cost of a private room is way less than the cost of one compromised call.
That framing makes perfect sense. And we shouldn't overlook meeting rooms, right? Which often start around, what, $19 an hour?
Correct. And they aren't just for client presentations. They're critical tools for alignment with your accountability partner. You reserve a room for the last 30 minutes of your session to make sure the momentum never stalls because of bad AV or a weak connection. You use the whiteboard, review the sprint, set the next goal. It's systematic.
Which brings us directly to the financial and professional why it matters. For hybrid businesses or freelancers, how does this model ensure cost control without the trap of a long, restrictive lease?
The core benefit is optimization and flexibility. It's simple. You only pay for what you consume. A business can scale its real estate footprint instantly based on weekly demand. Start with a day pass, then move to a predictable plan once the routine is locked in. You're buying operational efficiency.
So we move from that $4 a day dedicated desk model to the various monthly memberships. What's a typical entry point for someone looking to build a weekly routine?
Memberships with 5, 10, or unlimited days a month usually start around $129. Now, contrast that with the hidden costs of working from home. That daily $15 coffee shop habit, the slow Wi-Fi, the lost hours.
Right, the distraction.
Exactly. This model lets you budget reliably and guarantee you have a spot on your most productive days.
And beyond just cost, there's the professional presence these places provide. That seems critical, especially for remote-first teams that need to build credibility.
This is where the virtual office tiers really shine. You have to separate your home life from your public identity. For around $59 a month, the business address package gives you a credible local footprint in a professional hub and handles your mail.
So it's the difference between a client Googling your business and seeing a P.O. box
Residential street, yeah.
versus seeing an established address in a major business center. It builds immediate credibility.
Precisely. And for teams needing more robust support, the higher tiers, maybe $149 to $199 a month, they often add things like phone handling and some physical workspace access. It's how a hybrid business strengthens its operational efficiency without that enormous fixed cost of a lease. Ultimately, the predictability and the amenities power, internet, printers, coffee, it all removes friction. It lets you dedicate your mental energy to high-value work.
So if a listener is sold on this system, how do they actually implement it? Let's talk networking, validation, finding your match.
The beauty of the co-working environment is that the networking isn't forced or awkward. It's organic. You're in a curated space with other professionals who've already self-selected for one key trait. They value focus and follow-through.
You're surrounding yourself with people who prioritize tangible output. I imagine that makes the search for a reliable accountability partner so much easier. A quick chat in the hallway about a shared tool could evolve into a collaboration or a referral.
That's the compound benefit. The system designed for focus naturally fuels high-quality professional growth. Now, for the listener who's ready to take the leap, we need some actionable steps for booking that first crucial session.
I think the biggest tip here has to be validation. Don't commit blind.
Never commit blind. You have to schedule a quick tour or, ideally, a test day. You need to validate the fit for your working style. Check the Wi-Fi speed. Pay attention to the ambient noise. Notice the natural light. You're confirming the space supports your strategy before you commit to that $129 membership.
And on the day of your first scheduled sprint, logistics are everything to keep it low friction.
Confirm the access codes, the location of the good coffee, before you arrive. The first 10 minutes have to be about goal alignment, not searching for the entrance or debugging a visitor code.
Right.
And for listeners who travel, don't let that derail your routine. Use global agent networks to get quotes and book spaces worldwide. Keep your accountability schedule intact, no matter the time zone.
That is a phenomenal blueprint for turning ambition into reliable output. The system shifts you from an environment built for comfort and distraction in your home to one engineered for output and follow through.
I think the ultimate benefit here is that the focus shifts from where you work to the system you adopt. Small, repeatable sessions, locked in with an accountability partner, they consistently beat the ambition of long, unstructured to-do lists. They remove friction, they enforce follow-through, and they ensure that small wins compound into career momentum.
It's the ritual of showing up and syncing up. That's what turns the intention you had on Sunday night into actual progress by Monday afternoon.
So we offer a simple, powerful challenge for you, the professional listener. Reserve a place, set a short meeting. 30 minutes is enough to align with a partner on a single deliverable, and just start a timed sprint. That is your next step towards sustained momentum.
That is fantastic advice. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into optimizing focus and achieving momentum through co-working and accountability. We deeply appreciate you tuning in to the SmartKeys podcast. If you found this discussion valuable, please take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss our next analysis on the future of work and productivity. And for a detailed breakdown of pricing tiers, specific location spotlights, which proves this model is scalable even in markets like Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and access details for all the platforms we discussed, you can find the full article linked directly in the show notes. Until next time, remember that consistency is always more powerful than intensity.